Samsung has outdid themselves this time with their new Galaxy S22 series, specifically the Galaxy S22 Ultra. I will be going over a few things I like about it and a few things I don't like about it. And a big question is it worth it? Is it worth upgrading from the Galaxy S21 Ultra? Let's start with my favorite feature, the S Pen. Now the S Pen was initially a Galaxy Note exclusive. Now the S22 Ultra has an S Pen stylus housed inside, which is spectacular. Remember when Samsung used to have two different flagships? They had the Galaxy S series focus on having a faster chipset and big cameras improvements. Now, the Note series, which is my favorite Samsung flagship, focus on productivity through the use of the S Pen, but the S22 Ultra is a mixture of both. The S Pen is superior. Last year, the S Pen had a lag of 9 milliseconds, which is still extremely fast, but to the point that no one probably even noticed the difference. But while writing or drawing, but due to AI technology, the S Pen can predict where it's going to be, which is why the lag went from 9 milliseconds to a fancy 2.8 milliseconds. Woo! Now, the design of the S22 Ultra is honestly my favorite, in my opinion. Samsung nailed it by all means. The S21 Ultra is a great design. The camera module gave it personality, but again, the S22 design is clean and futuristic. Some of the key differences: the camera's upgraded, the glass all around is 12.5% stronger. Samsung has my new favorite green color. The green is so lovely. Some people have an issue with the square corners. To me, it fits nice and comfortable in my hands. I'll give the design a 9 out of 10. Now the display is awesome and Samsung nails it every year. Samsung is the largest display company in the world. Samsung's newest display goes from 1500 nits all the way to 1750, and it consumes less power, which will help keep your phone cooler. This is a big step from the S21 Ultra because a lot of people have been complaining about heat issues. Now I would say my phone has gotten really hot one time, but it quickly cooled down. I want to say maybe like in a few seconds it cooled down. So it looks like with a new update, it seems like Samsung correct that heating issue, especially with better software. Now, of course, Samsung is stubborn. They continue to add their apps, which make the software a little sluggish. Once Samsung decides to start adding their apps, the phone will be more optimized. Now, their updates are way quicker, and they are promising 4 years of software updates. Your phone will go from Android 12 all the way to Android 16. And the S22 series ship with UI 4. Then you have a color palette that will match up with the theme of your background. Let's start off with night mode. Night mode improved over the years. You could be in a pitch black area, and after taking a picture of night mode, the picture will be lit up. The overall quality is amazing. Samsung is upping their game up with night mode. Speaking of night mode, Samsung teamed up with Snapchat. Thanks to the team up, now your camera will be native while using Snapchat, which includes night mode as well. Hopefully more apps will be integrated with Samsung's cameras. Other camera features are audio FPS, where you are shooting videos and your camera automatically chooses the best frame rate based on lighting conditions. Then you have auto framing, which will automatically adjust the zoom levels based on how many people are in the image. Stabilization is improved from the last year's cameras, as well as 100x zoom. 100x zoom is 50% better than its predecessor. Where Samsung's improved optical zoom cameras, for your information only, Samsung does have a 200x space zoom. So maybe when Samsung perfects 100x zoom, then they'll probably introduce this in a future upcoming flagship phone. Samsung main camera is the same camera from the S21 Ultra. However, the camera is much richer because of the size of each pixel is bigger, meaning you'll get more and better details and accurate colors. This is for you photographers there. There's a camera app called Expert RAW that will allow you to shoot photos in 16-bit RAW images, which will give you better editing options. Overall, the performance is great. This is a first phone in the world powered by Samsung's Exynos 2200 chip. Not to mention, their next generation chip will be powered by AMD, which is the same chipset powered by the mighty PlayStation 5. Samsung is on to big things this time around, and I can really appreciate that because competitors like Apple and Google will push harder to give us better phones. Consider the fact they are charging over $1,000 for these phones, which is one of the things I don't like. Another thing I don't like is not having a charging brick. Like, where's the charging brick? Samsung is claiming to be eco-friendly or environmental friendly, but wouldn't that cause more boxes if I had to order a power brick and you send me in another packaging? To me, I'm just saying this makes more sense. Just package it in with the phone. I'm gonna call it a day. Less boxes, less contamination, but that's just my opinion. And another thing I don't like is the fact that you cannot uninstall Samsung apps. I already said it earlier in the video. I think Samsung just need to go ahead and let it go and give us the ability to uninstall their apps because it causes bloatware. That's just my opinion. And also, the big question, is it worth upgrading from the S21 Ultra? Is it even worth upgrading from the S20 Ultra? The big answer is no. It's really not worth upgrading from the S21 Ultra to the S22 Ultra unless you're like a hardcore Note fan. You want that square look and that stylish house inside and an extra year of updates, and hey, you think it's worth spending $1,000, go ahead. But I personally would suggest all you guys just stay in your S21 or just be patient with the next year. Now, if you got the S20 Ultra and you consider that, I could kind of see what the boundaries. Okay, well, I could upgrade because it's based almost a 2-year upgrade. But the same, I personally would stay in my S20 Ultra as well. And wait to see what Samsung's going to do in 2023. But you got the Note 9, like I was rocking a Note 9 about 4 or 5 years. Then yes, most certainly, it's definitely a time to upgrade because you don't have no security updates, like no more updates, after this year. So if you guys have older phones past the S20, older phones, I definitely suggest upgrading. But if you got the S21 and the S20 Ultra, I suggest just stay in your phone. But you know me, I spent over $1,000 because I'm a Note fan.